everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge. I've received some reinforcements for the Union in Wild West Exodus, and I thought I'd quickly show them off in this video, and then I'll be back once I've built and primed and started painting these things. Well, I thought initially we'd do a quick sort of run through of what I've got, so that we can see what's coming up. So the first thing I'm going to kick off with is the legendary Nikolai Tesla. So this is the same guy you get in the starter box. So this is Nikolai Tesla here, looking funky with my green warp lightning rather than the electrical lightning that you'd normally come to expect, just because I fancy doing something different with mine. But there we go, that's him, and this is him in his legendary form. So you can see on the front of the artwork there, he's in some sort of mech. It's still powered awesomely by the Tesla power, but it looks pretty chunky. So let's have a quick look at him. So yeah, this is probably, once you've started to really beef up your forces, you'll be able to add this guy in. Now, I believe it is a resin model, which is unlike the stuff that comes in the starter box, because that is all just hard plastic. So let's take a look at him. Look. Wow, that's a chunky old base. That's a big base he comes on. This is the standard size base. So the legendary version of this guy is a big boy. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see actually how big he is when he's built. And this is the 2 bags that he comes in. So, have a quick open up. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll get this stuff all built and painted, just like we did all the stuff beforehand. But today, I just wanted to give a quick run through some of the bits. So as you can see, it is resin. Now, resin is absolutely fine to work with. I would just recommend get an old toothbrush, some soapy water, make sure you give all of this a really thorough clean. I'm learning all the time, and I certainly learned from some recent miniatures I did that even when you think you've cleaned it, you probably haven't and should go again, because the oily residue that's left on resin, the release agent that's on it, makes painting it quite painful. You'll notice that your primer or your paint will just slide off the model. It won't settle, it won't adhere to the model, and it makes it really difficult when you come to paint it later on, because yeah, you just have to fiddle around an awful lot. But anyway, nice chunky bits of resin. Like I say, easy to cut here. You've got sort of clear bars you can cut. If you haven't got them, get yourself some nail files or some little files, because you can definitely use those, or even a little saw if you need it. But probably most of the time you'll get away with clippers. But certainly you might want to get yourself a little file just to take down any rough edges. As you can see there, really nice details in the parts. You do occasionally get fails. You do occasionally get little issues with the prints. The mold, the casting of the parts. You might get little holes or bubbles appear, but most of the time you can fill them with green stuff or anything you like to use to fill holes. But so far, looking at these, they all look great. I'm not seeing any issues here. This looks like shoulder joins, head join there. It has broken off the sprue there, but nothing major, nothing that's actually caused any problems. And you can see his headpiece there, and the headpiece looks really good as well. Here he is. There's his head. So let's have a look in the other one. Just have a look at it. Like I say, I'm not going to build this live on sort of now, but when we come back for another video, I will definitely have had all these built, and we can do another sort of look at it again. I just wanted to show you what was in the box. It's nice that even the molds of they've even got that sort of nice. I know it's not much, but it's quite nice that it's got an imprint of the Warcrate Studios in the actual piece that you're actually going to throw in the bin. But yeah, this all looks pretty good, and it all looks really nice. Really crisp lines, nice big join areas so that they clip together really nice. It looks like it's been made really well. Yeah, so I don't think. Yeah, I mean, don't know what else to say really. It looks really good quality. And I'm no expert at the resin miniatures. I've only dealt with them a few times, but these look really good. Now, these are quite chunky joins there, so this is where you could get a little hobby saw or a knife to cut through that rather than using clippers, unless you've got a really good set of clippers. I actually have these ones, which are the Red Grass Games ones, and they cut really well, so I reckon they'll go through this no problem. But if you was a little bit worried, there are hobby saws out there you could get, or even just a little saw yourself and cut it. But I think you'll be okay. But yeah, this is the guy. So you've got his torso there. You've got some chunky old legs and arms. So I think he's going to be quite a big lad when he's on that base. But yeah, that's that. Let's chuck it back in the bag and we can have a look at what's next. I was thinking about breaking this down into loads of little videos, but I think people can just jump around the video and get to the bit they want, because I'm going to show off like 3 or 4 boxes here. So you can always skip forward to see what the next box is. But that is the legendary version of Nikolai Tesla with his pretty humongous base. Now, the other ones I think are a lot easier to show. I'm not done a great job of putting that back in the box, but you get the idea. Right, the next thing up is the Union Pacifiers. Now, this can be built as Union Pacifiers or Confederate Terminators. Obviously, because I'm doing a Union army, I'll be building the Union Pacifiers here, which is this guy. But if you were doing Confederates, you could also build them in the Confederate configuration as well. This looks like it might be more resin. I don't know if that's something they've got, like some stuff is resin, some stuff's plastic, and whether the newer stuff as it's coming out is going to be more and more in the hard plastics, which is just a little bit easier to deal with. You haven't got to do some of the cleaning that you have to do with resin. But as I said, I've never really had any major issues. Let's have a look at this then. So, again, on larger bases compared to this is actually the base size that Tesla comes on. Exactly the same size, but certainly bigger than what the units come on. So there's their bodies. I'll get the camera to try and focus on those. There we go. There we go. Nice and chunky again. Nice connection points. Easy to get around. The weapon arm options. And again, if you did get any issues with anything being slightly bent, warm water, you heat it up a little bit, very little, and then you're about to straighten things out if there was anything that's bent. But I don't think anything here has got like a long barrel or anything, so there's nothing to do there. You can also, if you wanted to, drill out these barrels. That's quite a common thing people like to do in the hobby, so your guns don't look like they've got blockages in them. I'll probably do that just because the guns are right there to be done, so it's easy enough to grab a drill such as this, literally poke it in the end of the gun there, a few twists, and when you're done, you've got a hollowed out barrel. Nice and easy. Yeah. There you go. There's the different. Obviously, you'll only use the ones that are meant for the ones that you're building. So in this case, it is. Let me grab the box again. It was yeah. So this guy here is the Union Pacifier. And he's got like the big arm cannons rather than these almost like Gatling guns. He's got the ones that are there, yeah. So yeah, that's those guys, and you've got different head options there. So there are 4 different heads, no, 5 different heads. You've got a really nice selection of those. Yeah. There are no instructions I've noticed in the boxes for either of these models. Now I think the instructions can be found online, but to be honest, it's body. I mean, this guy, it's head, legs, bodies, and arms. Right? There's nothing else to it. So I don't think you really need instructions. You can work it out from the pieces and then what the actual picture looks like on the box itself. So you know, I can forgive them for that because frankly, there's not a lot of complexity to them in the building process. You know, they look great, there's loads of details on them, but they're not all like individual parts. So that's a quite nice thing to have. So we'll put that aside. Obviously, because they're resin, I would be using super glue rather than a plastic glue. It just won't work. It won't work in the way it's meant to. So yeah, just go with the super glue if you can. Then next up comes 2 boxes of these, and I'll just undo one of them. But it's 2 boxes of the Union Armed Rifle Guard, and on the back of this you can see you get 5 rifle miniatures and 5 Union Guard miniatures. So I'll have 10 of each essentially, because there's 2 boxes of them. So let me just put one of these aside, and I'll put another one. Now I think these are the newer kits. I think these will be in plastic. I can't be 100% sure until we open it. Get a quick blade on that. Oh, that blade needs a new blade. That was that was a very dull blade. I just ran across that. It feels plasticky. The sound is making sounds like it's plastic in there. So this will be more to what you've seen in the actual starter box and stuff like that. Yeah, there we go. So it's exactly like what's in the starter box. I assume a little bag of bases in there. Yep, there we go. So in that's all there is. A singular sprue with the exactly the same as how you made them in the starter box. Really, you've got torsos, legs, boots, arms, head pieces, weapon pieces, to then sort of mix and match up how you feel. Different heads, so different looks for whatever you want to go for, so you don't look all the same. There's a nice bit of posability in them because you can use different arms and legs combinations together. It is numbered, so that might mean there is some bits that will only go next to bits. This one I'll have to check online. There's no instructions in the box. So I'll go online with War Cradle, Wild West Exodus, and have a look at the instructions there to see what you can see. Because it might be that some of these have to go in a certain order. But again, you can see on the box quite easily that it seems pretty straightforward. But you might want to check, because it might be that, you know, body piece, let's see, F1 has to connect to leg F1. Is it as simple as that? Have I just guessed what the system is? I can't see a leg called an F1, so just checking in case I've stumbled upon the mechanism. There's some I legs and there's some B legs. I think it must be. Yes, it must be. Yeah. Yeah, I think all the F's go together, all the D's go together, all the B's go together. So you take the B body with the B leg, and so on and so forth. That's what I think the system is. There we go. I'll confirm that when I make it, and I'll let you know when we go back and review the model. But yeah, again, great little infantry pieces. Look, lovely little details on them all. Exactly from what you saw in the starter box set. So yeah, awesome. So 2 boxes of those. So loads of infantry. So the army's really going to beef up in its size now, because it's almost going to, it will double in size easy. Right, and this is another box here. So we've got the No Surrender Posse set. Now I think this is an older box, because I think the artwork gives it no, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. I thought I'd seen this before in the previous version of Wild West Exodus. So we'll see if it's if there's any way to know or not whether it's a newer or an older box. But it's a really cool. Actually, I didn't show you the back of the box. I'll show you the back of the box, because what's in it looks really cool. So in here we have some really cool miniatures. Sorry, I was thinking about words then. We have like what looks like a whole sort of unique character set. So rather than it being just a bunch of guards or something, these are all named individuals. So Odious Grant, which is this guy with a huge cyborg-looking arm cannon. That seems to take up his entire arm. William Sherman. He's got this kind of... Oh, no, that's William Sherman there. So that's William Sherman with the arm cannon. You've then got ODS. ODSC? I don't know how to say that. ODS. He's got like the... Almost like a skull mask on. Looks quite like... sort of Overwatch character or something like that. Then you've got C, which is Alfred Woodhouse. He's definitely someone's butler or something like that. Looks very respectable with his coat draped over his arm and his hat. And then you've got Bernard Hopkins, who's clearly going to be a nasty sharpshooter. He's going to be at the back of the field somewhere, just picking people off each turn. And then you've got some troops down here. So you've got 2 Union troopers with Liberty Gatling guns. So there you go. Liberty Gatling guns. And then a guy here with a Union trooper with a Galleon rocket pod. So he's going to be also at the back of the field, just launching rockets at people. So this adds quite a lot of flavour. This posse squad... posse set adds quite a lot of flavour to your forces, just because it's not just generic troops. Well, obviously these guys are, but they're still special units. But this is all flavour, which is nice. Then let's have a look at this one. Oh, look at that! I love the wood. I love the wood grain. It's very nice. I might actually keep this one because I need one to put all my cards and bits and pieces in, and this is quite a nice. Look. That's quite a nice, just for what's carrying the miniatures in it. That's quite a nice looking box, isn't it? And it's actually wood grain all the way around it. So I might be keeping this box for all the bits and bobs. We've got on top a piece of card. What's this about? Welcome to Wild West Exodus. Oh, okay. There we go. There's the attempt. So you can go online and not only get your unit cards. I do hope, I don't know if they've done this, I do hope they bring out actual cards, because it's my only gripe at the moment is where I've had to cut cards out and do them myself. I'm a bit lazy, but I would love quality unit cards to be sold in a pack or something. You know, buy a set for the Union, buy a set for the Enlightened, or whatever. And hopefully they will do them at some point, rather than print and play. But we'll see. If you're listening, unit cards, please, if you do them. Or maybe you already do and I haven't noticed. So yeah, go on there, get your rules, get your cards, get your build instructions, and away you go. Ah, so this is a mixture in this one. Oh, hang on. What? Ta-da! Ah! It's as if by magic they were listening to it and put them in this box. So I need to get these for the other ones then. They do exist. I need them for what's in the starter box and other boxes. Please make them available, because this is so much nicer. Look, nice cards, nice instructions. Look, lovely. I can sleeve these. I can write on them if I wanted to. Ah, brilliant. Well, there we go. They do exist. Can I get them for the other boxes, please? Right. Because they certainly weren't in anything else we've looked at so far. Only that's the only box that had the cards in. I wonder if these are still correct then. I wonder, are these the right cards for... Well, it looks like it is. They look the same. So, yeah. Okay. I'd like stack cards for everything else, please. Right, so the first one up, this is the Gatling Gun. So, again, plastic, as you would expect. Very much in line with the new stuff. Then we have a second Gatling guy as well. Oh no, this is the rocket pod guy. So we've got 2 Gatling guns and a rocket pod. Nice and easy to build. Exactly. See, you know, I mean, you're not going to need instructions to build that, right? Body, legs, 2 arms, and a rocket and a backpack, and the same with those. So, yeah, no one's going online to download the rules from that. So I understand why they don't put them in the box, because frankly, you just don't need them. It's that simple to build. Fair enough. I'm on board with that. Totally on board with it. Little pack of bases. They're all on standard unit size. So the squad of 4 gentlemen I don't know if they're brothers or anything like that. Well, they weren't brothers, didn't have the same name, but these are all in resin. So here we go. So that was what's his name again? This is the one I couldn't pronounce. I don't know why I can't pronounce it. Odious. So he is not only carrying a cool gun, but you can see he's got a bit of a sheen to him, and that'll be that residue. I guarantee if I tried to spray some paint on him now, it wouldn't stick. So genuinely, I don't know if you can see on the camera, he's got like a glinty, you can see where it's glinting in the lights. You need to get in there and scrub that with some water, just some water and a toothbrush. But yeah, look, I mean, I can't see any mold lines. I can't see any flash or anything like that. Just where you're going to cut him off his base. So yeah, really nice. We've then got this guy who's actually broken off of his base, but again, that's not a big deal. So this was what's this fella's name? This was Bernard Hopkins, the sniper. So actually, that's not his sniper rifle. That's his sniper rifle's on the other character. So there we go. So this sniper rifle needs to be added to this guy here, and he's sat behind his sandbags there for protection whilst shooting people in the head. And then the other two gentlemen, this is pretty much a one-piece model. This one, he's got a backpack to go on. That's about it. Then this one's got the most building he's doing to him. So this was the gentleman was Alfred, classic butler name. Alfred Woodhouse, looking very gentlemanly. I'm sure he's not in the game. I'm sure he's like a support character. And then the last guy was William Sherman, and he's going to get the big old arm cannon here, which kind of goes in like that. Yeah, there we go. So you got a few heads and pieces. Like I say, some of it's broken off the plate, but it doesn't make a difference. It's all here. There's nothing lost, and it all needs to come off anyway. But yeah, so they all look really cool. Let me pop them all back in this bag. So the next job up is I will get this all built, and then we'll come back and review it once it's all built. And I'll let you know if it all went together okay, if there was any gotchas that you need to look out for, just like I did in the previous one, because, you know, not everyone builds miniatures all the time, and this might be the first time some people come across resin miniatures, right? So, and we found unit cards, really. Don't forget the unit cards. Yeah, this might be the first time you come across them, so I'll let you know if there was any little foibles or anything that I came across when doing this. But yeah, so we've got, just to recap, we've got the No Surrender posse set. We've got 2 boxes of the Union Armed Rifle and Guardsman. So Riflemen and Guardsmen. That's going to really beef up the forces. We've then got the 2 sort of big guns. These guys look like they're going to be mean. So heavily armored, heavily weaponed Union Pacifiers, or if you wish, if you were doing Confederate Terminators. And then the big guy, the last but not least, the legendary version of Nikolai Tesla. So him, but in a mech. That sounds pretty cool. Right, so that's that. So the next time I come back, I will be showing off all of that. And then hopefully in a week or so's time, I'll be showing you all the reinforcements that are coming for the Enlightened. But if you like this video, give it a like, maybe give it a subscribe. I do live streaming over on twitch.tv/thehobby-lodge, so that's where most of this will get made and painted. So if you want to come over to Twitch, give me a follow on the Hobby Lodge over on Twitch, and you can see this stuff being painted up like I did everything else, like I did when I painted this guy on stream. You can do it there, but I then also do take those videos and stick them on YouTube. So, you know, if you don't want to see it live, you just want to watch it in your own time, there's a whole playlist for this stuff on YouTube, and you can watch all of the starter box being built and painted and played and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for hanging out throughout the video, and hopefully you made it to the end here. Give us a like, that'd be amazing. All right, and I'll speak to you all soon. Okay, see you later. Bye bye.